Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. This is for the 29th of June 2018, and looking at the moon, we see it in the constellation of Capricorn, I suppose in like both systems really. Imagine the nakshatra of Uttara Ashada, which is ruled by the sun. And it brings forth an element of truth and light, but it's also, there's that Saturn thing, so we're dealing with our limits. And now we're in a waning moon period, because we just had a full moon a couple nights ago, right? We had a full moon on Wednesday at 9:53 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time in the Mula Nakshatra, and she's ruled by Naritri, which is like the, she can be kind of a goddess of calamity in some ways, somewhat related to Kali, and but it's also, we need to get rid of stuff in order that are unnecessary. Things that are unnecessary are gotten rid of so that we can reach spiritual enlightenment or moksha. And so when you go through Saturn Sate, a Saturn return, or heavy Saturn transits, you're going to see a lot of things disappear and go. So moon will be in Aquarius tonight at 9:37 p.m. as far as like Western astrology goes. And so for the whole weekend, we're talking Aquarius moon, which is, it's just a wee bit eccentric. And but it actually makes it a good moon for partying and socializing and meeting people. And so think of this time as a time to releasing thoughts, really. I mean, I would say both systems, both Vedic, which would be Gemini time, and Western, which calls it Cancer time, they both say, they associate Cancer also with the mind as well as the emotions. So we're changing our thoughts, and we're releasing the thoughts that are no longer useful for us. And sometimes we need encouragement. Sometimes we need help from other people in order to do that. And so thank you for your help. And now, without any further ado, sign by sign, your horoscope, beginning with you, Aries. So, greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. Now, I want to thank Wendy King for reminding me to look at the camera. Thank you, Wendy. She's not an Aries, but still, I thank the people that helped me. So Mars is in the 11th house. So a lot of your energy is dedicated towards helpful friends, your social life, meetings and parties. This weekend is going to be no exception. There's going to be more meetings and parties. And really, like, in 4 weeks from now, we're going to have a full moon lunar eclipse with Mars conjunct the moon. This is significant for you. And it can help you get over stage fright. It can help you embrace your creative abilities. And right now, since Mercury and Venus are in your 5th house, for this week, you're going to be embracing more creative energy and learning how to express yourself in a good way. This could be fun. On the other hand, there's this stellium of Moon, Saturn, and Pluto in the 10th house. And so how you deal with the public, you want to take a more serious look. You want to be both flexible and consistent, because the moon's all about flexibility. And Pluto's about transformation. Get insights on how you can improve your life and make it better. Don't neglect your spiritual life. Don't neglect that transformation is going to make you a better person and allow for new opportunities for you. All right. And yeah, there will be a moon in Aries this week. Yeah, there will be. I think the moon in Aries happens on Wednesday night, Thursday. So Wednesday night, Thursday, that's you. Okay. All right. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So Venus and Leo, I mean, that's the home front. Mercury's there. So dealing with parents, dealing with family, dealing with ancestors, dealing with elders. You know what? We're all becoming elders. You know, some of you yesterday were 15 and now you're 30 and you're looking at yourself going, oh my gosh, I'm not a kid anymore. And some of you were, 30 or just under 30 and suddenly you're looking at yourself and you're almost 60 and you're going to yourself, oh my God, how did I get here? How did this happen? I was always younger than the generation that was never going to grow old, and yet here I am. And so pay attention to them and do honorable, loving things towards them. Love your mother and, love your father too. And fathers are really important because they really help the child make it to the outer world. And I know there's a lot of fashionable male bashing for men that have made poor examples, and there's definitely some privilege in society for being a man, but there's also a sacred masculinity that's awesome, and it's helpful. And I think part of that is, if you are a man and you're listening to this, is support your brothers, support your father, support people, look for the best in each other, nurture your young men so that they'll be respectful of women and respectful of each other, and have an opening where people are able to move forward as men and women and things, rather than all this separation, blamey BS, because we created this together. Yeah, because we're all powerful. And now that Uranus is in Taurus, those of you who are born, like, say, on the 22nd of April or 23rd, you're really feeling activated, like, whoa, life is crazy and it's moving, and you got to pay attention to that stimuli, and that your most unique self, your most inspiring self, shines through in a good way. Well. Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. Well, there's a lot to talk about, right? And when you've got Mercury and Venus in the third house, you do want to talk about it. And if you're a Gemini musician, I'd say this is the perfect time to make music, to make song, and to elaborate on that. And so this weekend's going to be so fun for you. It really is. It's going to be a great weekend for travel. If you're a Gemini traveling, this is helpful. It's a helpful time. And since Mars will be there too, and you like Mars, Mars does well with Geminis in some ways because it gives you courage. I mean, just be cautious. You can be courageous and cautious at the same time. It's just beware of the potential for danger. But, plan on success. It's important that you visualize something positive to reach your goal. This is what I want, I like it when such and such happens. Oh, how happy I am that I'm going to be surrounded by love. Oh, how happy I am that I'm going to be able to meet people and touch hearts. That's the kind of thing that you want to visualize. And this is second house time for you, so you're dealing a lot with money issues, family issues. Don't be surprised, okay? All right. And I think you're going to have a great weekend. And beyond that, the beginning of the week, like Monday and Tuesday, are all about you getting down to business. Oh. Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. So, happy birthday if you are a Cancer person having a birthday this week. That means if you're born sometime between the 29th and the 6th, because I go Friday to Friday. So that's my Venus Atmakara for you. And all that Libra and Taurus. Yeah, so in the Eastern sidereal system. Anyhow, it shows up in the Western too. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's true. It's all those asteroids, the North Node and all that, yeah. But how to be a better nurturer, how to be intelligent when you're in an emotionally volatile situation. Now, Aquarius is not the picnic for you. So, I mean, today is sort of harmonious. Friday is kind of romantic and lovey-dovey. And then tonight the switch flips on to intensity, and maybe your partner or mate will be more important as far as what's going on, and they'll probably be leading the show this weekend for you, if you're in a partnership. You know, about 2/3 of us are. You know. Although I'm going solo these days. That's okay. Because you're never alone when you've got the divine feminine and the divine masculine have your back. You know, when your ancestors, when God is watching you, you're always got somebody who's loving you, protecting you, caring for you. You know, the moon will go into the 9th house, you know, which is like spiritual wisdom, is really good fortune on Monday, which is auspicious for a Cancer, okay? So, I mean, take in that wisdom on Monday and Tuesday, you know, because it's there, and take in, expect great things. Blessings. Blessings are pouring down on you. Good things are happening for you. There's more money coming your way with Mercury and Venus in the 2nd house. So I see financial gains. I see creative stuff happening with Jupiter in the 5th house, and a better relationship with your children. I mean, I don't want to be all like, you know, Pollyanna, but I just sense a win-win, and I'm glad we're friends. All right. Here-wee. Okay. So, greetings, Leo, and welcome to your horoscope. So, I did mention that Mercury is in Leo. And when did that happen? Oh, it happened today. If you live back east, it happened last night. If you live on the West Coast. So this is freshness. This Mercury in Leo is a freshness thing. So you know what you're talking about. You're more conscious. You're more bold in your expression. And you're attracting a lot of love in your life. Now, with the North Node there with Mercury, you've got a lot more to say. You've got a lot more on your mind. And that's fine. And I see Mars in the 7th house. And that can bring people confronting you. But it also can make you more of a sweetheart, too. It can really calm you down. And so, hey, bring on the sweetness, right? We all want a little bit more sweetness. Let's remember, though, that the sun is in your 12th house, so it's easy to be a part of your own undoing. And, boy, especially like if you have your sun already in the 12th house, I definitely see a commonality where a lot of things aren't communicated that really need to be communicated and talked about. But playing nice because you don't want the confrontation, that always backfires. So when you bring out the confrontation in a good way, in a respectful, nonviolent way, you actually become more intimate with people, and it's so beautiful. Okay. Greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, it's all about your social life. It's all about friends in high places this week. Mercury and Venus are in Leo, so there's always a karma to what you've communicated and what you've said. I have a friend that really likes to pick apart my words. I mean, you know, examines them from a historic, feminist perspective and all kinds of things. And it's like, well, guess what? You know, when I was born, communication and words like this weren't so heavily analyzed. I came in the time when it was sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. So adjusting to this wet toilet paper thin consciousness of millennials, and especially post-millennials, people born after 95, 96 and beyond, it's a new frontier for us. So go easy. I think understanding intentions and soul of people of what they're trying to say goes deeper than the superficiality of the words themselves. And if you want to get caught up in the superficiality of the words themselves, I mean, that's fine. It shows you're a smart person, but that's coming from the ego, which is edging God out. And what you need to look at is you have good fortune among your friends this year. You have a lot of you have difficulties maybe with your children that you've had to deal with the last few days. But ultimately they will bring you a lot of joy if you're patient and you learn from them. And the sun is in your 11th house, like I said. But, Uranus moving over into the 9th house, it's also about getting inspiration from foreign cultures, other religions, traveling, being inspired. And that's important too. Well, hello Libra, and welcome to your horoscope. And welcome to Cancer time, which really puts you in the public eye a lot. This is where your career and your workplace and your responsibility become more important. And then we've got Venus and Mercury. These are in the Vedic teachings we call these the Rajestic planets, which means that these planets have no satisfaction. They keep wanting to do stuff. They do a lot of things, forget your Western version of Venus in this case in some ways. I mean, I would like you just to kind of imagine Mercury and Venus is very highly motivated. And think about it, Libra, you're a cardinal sign. Even in Western astrology, it's like there's a motivation. So either system, there's some motivation. Venus and Mars in the 11th house. So you want to go to parties, you want to socialize, you want to meet people, you want to have the festivities. That's partly what's going on here. But you have a lot of responsibility because the 10th house is about consciousness, 10th house is about responsibility. Moon's going to be in your 5th house, which is fun, and it's loving, and it's heart-opening. I mean, Mars is going to be there. It's love affairs. So, I mean, you're going to get off on this weekend. There's no question about it. You're going to enjoy it. You might be a little emotional on Friday, but everything's going to be fine. Just relax. You're going to enjoy yourself. It's all going to be good. Well, hello Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. Well, I mean, for Scorpio, it's like Jupiter is in your 1st house. And Jupiter is going to go direct, I think, in another week. And so Jupiter is really slowing down right now. 13 degrees Scorpio. And it's in Libra in Vedic in the Swati constellation. So I see you as a manifester right now. If you want to manifest wealth, it's there. There's ways for you to get more. And I'd like to see that happen for you. Okay. There's also huge amounts of growth. Huge amounts of expansiveness. And, because Scorpio's Mars is more internalized, sometimes there's this ability to attack oneself. I mean, I can't stand when that happens. I don't really want to attack myself. I want to be good to myself. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Mars is about to go retrograde. You see that? Well, Mars just did go retrograde. My gosh, how did I miss that? Yeah, Mars went retrograde on Tuesday afternoon, which is a Mars day. And so in Aquarius, which is your 4th house. So there's this restlessness about family. There's this restlessness about where you live and wondering if that's really working for you. And but you're conscious about getting rid of evil. And the best way to get rid of evil is to be positive. And Mars is positive energy. And so, I like the Bible verse. It says, God lives in the praises of his people, and the joy of the Lord is my strength. So Scorpio, with the sun transiting your ninth house, that brings joy, that brings luck, that brings good fortune. I think you're going to do better. I think that's going to aspect with that Jupiter energy in a really good way. And I see blessings being poured down on Scorpio. Now, what about this Mercury-Venus thing? Because most of your Vedic Libras anyhow, and so the Venus thing plays a high role. And this is all in your 10th house. Career, public eye, how you act, how you do things. And it's like you're going to do things in big ways and in great ways, and you're getting that bigger vision across. And in that way, that's how we bring support. That's how we bring love to each other. And one thing, as in tradition, like real traditional men and traditional masculinity, is they supported each other because you have to be a team on the hunt. Which means no one's greater. I mean, yeah, you're a great hunter or whatever, but that wasn't really what was going down. It was like one person smelled animals better. One person saw animals better. One person heard animals better. One person shot spears and arrows better. But it took a team effort of all of those combined. And nobody said, oh, you're lesser because you only hear the animal, or you're lesser because you only see the animal. Nobody did that, with each other. It was all a group thing. And so supporting each other, and this goes for women too, don't be in competition with each other. Let's support each other. As men and women, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, grandparents, all of us together, moving forward, moving with that higher spiritual aspect of our life, and being a blessing to our communities. That's where it is at. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so Cancer time presents a certain amount of transformation. It presents other people being in power and having to give up some power. It might be your spouse or your mate. It might be someone who you're borrowing money from or who's borrowed money from you. And the best thing to do is not worry or care about those things during this period, but just to kind of release that. Okay, that's my first words of wisdom to you. Now here's the good stuff. You are able to learn so much with Mercury and Venus going through your ninth house. You can explore exotic art, museums, other kinds of churches or temples, and learn so much from these people that it'll be good fortune. So you'll be a better listener, and your soul is going to get some satisfaction from this. So today was a good money day maybe. This weekend looks more like hanging out with siblings or neighbors, just kind of like your own personal tribe of peers, working on your communication, working with your hands, doing a little bit of artwork. Might be a little more introspective during the beginning of the week, but then you explode into creativity by Thursday, and all is well again. And, pay attention to that spiritual karma because it's really powerful for you right now. Well, hello, Capricorn. Yes, indeedy, sweetie. Welcome to your horoscope. Yeah, and it's all love here. So you're dealing with some pretty heavy-duty stuff. You got Saturn, you've got Pluto, you have the Moon today, and eventually that Saturn is going to, be out of the Moon. Well, it'll still be, the Moon's going to move on, and be next to Mars. So, I think of this as a time where you're facing some challenges. And, by the time early in the week, things will ease up a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. They'll probably ease up on Wednesday. And by Thursday, it's like, oh my gosh, I have other challenges to look at. There's a romance going on, though, because Cancer's your opposite. So it's a time to make peace. It's a time to be diplomatic. It's a time to be open to love, even in the hardest time. I'm like surprised sometimes when love will find me. Love sometimes finds me when I'm in a bad mood. It's like so weird, you know. It's like odd, you know. And I don't recommend getting in a bad mood to find love, but it's just love sneaks up on you. That's my experience. It's sneaky, sneaky love might sneak up on you, Capricorn. Well, hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, Cancer time is about health issues. It's about hard work. It's about that person that you work with that maybe not be so friendly towards you sometimes, that you have to deal with. But like you're kind of a sweetheart. You know just what to say right now with this Mercury and Venus in the seventh house. And then Mars going retrograde in your sign. It's sort of like, look within. You can't direct your hostility at others. You kind of direct it at yourself. Wow, I could have done that better. So it's like a yogi thing. It's like about self-improvement. And it's beautiful. And yeah, this weekend you're dealing with all kinds of karma, but because you're Saturn ruled, you know, there is some rewards here. And there is some regeneration happening. So I would say overall, don't fear. Know that some of your best works are being seen right now, believe it or not, by the public, and you're ready to manifest. So on with the manifestation. Well, hello, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. There's nothing to worry about here. This is a great time for you because we've got the sun in your fifth house. And that's love and children and creative expression and being a teacher and clowning around and having fun and traveling. And so this is a good time. Mercury in the sixth house. Dealing with health issues, but, you know, beautifying yourself at the same time. Venus is there. And so in a sense there's a certain amount of ease as you make a lot of improvements that might have been difficult, but they're just improvements that needed to happen. And you know the moon's going to be in Pisces on Monday and Tuesday, so, and even most of Wednesday. So, I mean, there's a lot of joy. There's a lot of richness, and then with Jupiter in your ninth house in Scorpio, I mean that's a fun win-win too. And this is why I'm looking forward to being with you next week. I want to hear your comments. I want you to know how much I appreciate you and what you're doing for me. So many of you sharing these videos with friends and others. Continue to do this. Do it again next week. Planetary Persuader, Cosmic Kev, I'm out.